This is the third part of the topic of decoding. Top secret humanity for easy tracking. If the first time you see this content is good, you should watch the previous video as a decoding of the truth about one-sided humanity, looking from history to modern society 2, exploring human nature part 2, deciphering the truth about humanity delves deeper, the nature of good and evil of human beings link. Video I will leave in the comments section. This can help you see through the nature of all the people around. In the third part, I will talk about the topic of love, male and female feelings, a relatively sensitive topic, but it is also impossible to ignore why. As such, we are often hurt by my own family, by friends, karma and trusted relatives. Our glass heart shatters. There are girls who are betrayed by their boyfriends. Even thought about slowly feeling I gave a lot but exchanged is just an accident and a subordinate of the opponent. Fooling always feels what she does. Never get the response you deserve. Here is a form of disease called the contagion of many people's feelings, because focusing too much on the emotions that always want to express. Show devotion to others yourself. Showing devotion is also a thing, but the problem is that you also require others to show the same devotion as you when they don't, so you immediately collapse a lot. Moral reprimand is always taken. Tears and saliva cursing the opponent. The way is like being ungrateful and unintentionally means that the traitor makes himself feel sorry. I feel like I have saved 18 generations of ancestors. Say as if I was so good to you. How can you treat me like that? Hey, what's the problem here? The problem is that they haven't ever asked you to be dedicated to them. It's just that you're self-absorbed and self-aware, and then expect others to respond if they don't. Then you yourself will be hurt and miserable. Not the act of creating a game on its own. Family play in children's heads. Why do you give me a candy? You want me to return 2 pills if you don't give. Then you will cry and denounce with the whole that I inadvertently don't make sense of. The problem is that who told you to give me a scissor must be of your own volition. Ancient anthropology greetings you and the. When you see many people living for feelings and social relationships, confused and worried, I'm willing, sharing years of training experience with all who first of all I am not divine despite having a strong mentality, but what I said was not, is the truth of the universe, and of course it is not. Avoid life's shortcomings. Need you to contemplate for yourself. I just sharpening a sharp knife for you to use or not, and use. How to use it is up to you. To see through the conspiracies together behind the first male and female romance believed into the miserable feelings of a lifetime you talk about affection for everyone around you, will find out that they are talking about money with you when you don't talk about feelings. You just do. Then you'll see everyone around you talking about love except for your father, mother. All other emotions are a repertoire performance. You just need to provide enough benefits. Benefit others will act without getting tired of you being hurt by others. Don't blame. Who blames himself for not seeing through? Look at people with depression. Who does not have to be camaraderie and friendship? Love hurts but also becomes. Don't waste time doubting affection of others for you, by the results will disappoint you, because each of them talking about feelings with you all revolves around their own interests, sometimes including the father, your mom too. Why they want you soon. Get married because they want a hug porch soon. Make yourself happy why they want to. You get married close to home because they have jobs. Everything is convenient to rely on you why they were born out of you, also because they themselves are happy. You ask yourself, do you have children because of your children? Are you happy, or you are happy on your own? If is because your child is happy, please ask if their opinion is not for their own sake. I was free to give them unintentionally. Isn't it a lesson to come to this world? Veen told me her husband treats she's very bad, but her parents don't give her a divorce because it will make her lose. Your family's face is not happy. The blessing of a daughter's whole life is only for herself. Didn't lose face and then said them again. I do it all for your benefit. You remember carefully all the people who tell me to do all for the benefit of your nature is for their own sake. Camaraderie. You love each other like so. Monday believes in love that hurts a lifetime. Do men have true love? Don't. Innocence for men to say that wives are 9. Poor wife, poor lover. Poor love for non-lovers. Every man has aspirations. There are many wives, and each woman have a good dream exclusively owning a certain man. The essence of the herd. He likes the new, boring. The old is their clothes that you used to be very like it now. It's already thrown away. Right? If you don't eat delicious food, You eat every day. Are you sick of marriage? It's contrary to human nature. By the human nature is to like the new, hate the old breed. Insatiable. How can you only love one? The person who has been scared for a lifetime is you. Until now, I still believe in love. When getting married, people shouldn't say things like whether I am poor or rich, I will never, hours away from you. That kind of tasteless words that should say I will. Resist the instinct to resist the fall table. I love you forever always sounds funny, isn't it? The most beautiful woman over a long period of time will also feel pale, sluggish, so face the nature of liking. New hatred of the old insatiable greed of people so as not to be hurt in the love story. The core thing is not to invest in it all. Affection for a person. Always keep an eye on the level of their emotional investment. If they have invested 100 degrees, have the courage to reduce the heat. 60 degrees too cold, 100 degrees too hot, 80 degrees. To protect yourself if you are very love a person, learn to subtract and find. Add a few other friends to transfer apart. Affection to others to plant a few flowers and grasses have their own preferences. Try not to send affection to the creature, because the creature that will change will die at the. You'll be sad and miserable. For example, you have a dog, you love it so much. Then you have predestined the part of suffering because the dog will surely one day lose its. The disease will die and the degree of change of the child. People are more serious than dogs. Times you dare to fall deeply in love with a friend. Know how dangerous it is when a man who clearly doesn't love you. Do not propose to break up or divorce people. It says it loves you, but behind its back, doing things that hurt you. Actually, he doesn't love his friend. He just don't want to lose the stupid woman. Fell in love with him while he was dying. Enjoy your friend's love he still gives. That I deserve a better person. This is called typical of donkey riding. Finding horses is only the current condition of. He hasn't allowed him to throw you away. But when the conditions are ripe, he will raise both donkeys and donkey horses. Work for him, horse take him away. Sightseeing so love goes again. Don't be affection blinding. The third, more believing in a sad lover for a lifetime. Someone asked me, do men really love their lovers? I replied to her, you know the lover is. What is the kind of relationship that is not? The public does not dare to bring the light. Don't dare to tell others a kind of snaky relationship. Men looking for people. Love is all because of loneliness and emptiness. Real love story men are just pursuing lust just for sleep, free of charge. All just to solve determination of birth needs. This kind of emotion chases after the likes and novelty of sneaking. The most important thing is not to take any responsibility. He does not. He just hates being binding in marriage and relationships. The lover does not need to care about anything that is not responsible. Mission. Men will not take the initiative to say goodbye with you, afraid that you persevere. They will slowly become cold. Pale with you makes you tired when playing Mr. Adulterous, looking for a lover only to state of no time and countless times because. So don't expect this kind of man to be faithful to you. Women who are in love, feeling trapped, always says men. It's cruel in an external relationship. Marriage, they just want to satisfy their desires. Body without real emotional investment. Here I have to defend men. A sentence actually. Men are both profound and, in the long run, it's just that they are more rational because they can love their lover deeply, but only for a long time. Wife, actually, this mood is very contradictory, because he craves your love, but I wish your love had. Can maintain stability. You can wrap tangerines, but must not affect the family. His, you can love deeply, but must not affect the kiss. His, people speak cruelly. Then when I'm free I'll be by your side. When I'm busy, you also have to suffer. If, unfortunately, became the lover of the. Otherwise, why don't you have any hopes for real love? Learn how to use the resources of the herd. If the man has the status and position of, so use his relationship. Make a big buck first. For myself, when it really comes to the day of the breakup, it's not so bad that there are no empty hands. What is mine? But everything is there, usable except for survival and benefits of other things in life. This is not a special problem. That romance is just a game between men and women play for fun. Who told you to? Stern. The real masters are all in love without touching your heart. Successful businessmen. Numbers in love can be easy. It's easy to retreat. But most women, it is easy to get away from and cannot solve it by itself. Escaping this is due to not grasping purpose and measurement right, or in other words, the other is that there is too little experience when a person. Women who were difficult to move, Please wish. Congratulations. You've reached the pinnacle of life because the masters all using affection without letting the affection. Why Votakyan can become into a panicked female life because of her. Doesn't love men, she only uses the piano. This is called no. If you have a desire, you will be strong. So women should be self-made. Who loves whom? Who suffers? Who moves? Whose heart hurts next? Listen. In detail I will talk about 3 methods to help stupid men and resentful women escape from the pool of love suffering. Number 1. Don't wonder. Echo sentiment on any who loves men's fights is because beautiful women give birth to love. The depth of women is usually because of men. Having money is not without predestined. With women you are not much money. Men who are hurt by women are very distressed. Actually, your pain is not because that woman, but for the pocket of. You can't afford to find a lot of women. More than a man has no shortage of women. How can you be hurt? Ask. See someone like Ronaldo often. Piercing is hurt by affection. A person who has been hurt by something is because he takes that thing too seriously. Why? Valuing it because you are too lacking. That is the nature of people who attach too much importance to love. Feeling that life will not be easy in the end. Trust. Dependency. Remembering the past only for a moment can make you miserable. There is no way out of this life. Loneliness and loneliness are basically due to lack of money and lack of love, but lack of love is a lack of money. That is an external object. With or without money is a necessity. You can't help but want to have a practitioner asked me to be broken up by my girlfriend. How to use which method to conquer her again? I don't know what to say. I told you to chase. According to what women do you should chase? Career. When you conquer your career, naturally, there will be a bunch of women to pursue you. This is so simple. But unfortunately, many men don't understand this. The man in his heart is still attached. Love of the shallow sea of war and rocks. Man, this life is no longer of great use. And all the people who do big things are. There must be a characteristic that is extremely rational. Mind doesn't matter, your other half is. How you keep working hard to make money is managed by you. What does she do in all relationships? System will end up with only the pockets of. You are trustworthy. You know why? Will the poor grow old together? Because they don't have the capital to change. The women are not charming enough to feel. Seeing men, promiscuous men, strength. Too poor to feel real women. Some people the farther away from you, not because you did anything wrong, but because they don't need you anymore past they deliver to you. To put it bluntly, it's just a termite. The relationship of interests that you consider to be affection. If a woman tells you that, I don't care, you don't have my money, not the kind of pragmatic woman you are. No money, I still love you like that. You just have to listen and don't believe it. Don't believe these words as well as you say she's getting fat and getting sloppy. I still love you like that is the same idea, meaning of moral principles of reason. Everyone can grit their teeth and say that I still love like that. But my body and eyes are all very sincere. You can't deceive. The premise of fidelity itself. What is in marriage is a matter that can make each other satisfied or not. The core nature of the system. Marriage is to serve the development of the commune. Association for providing a stable workforce, not for love. Marriage law never asked people to get married. Kissing for love is just for everyone to give for themselves. That marriage is a necessary outcome of sentiment. Love. The value of marriage is to integrate resources. To marry the wrong person and not to marry anyone are not the core essence of economic marriage. Is why when love, it's beautiful at the time, but after getting married, not beautiful anymore. Because when love has mutual satisfaction, can be satisfied, can be faithful to each other forever. So I say a man always in the process of development. If the women who don't keep up with being eliminated are just the matter of a woman's time, always grow. If men don't develop, the elimination is also inevitable. Men and women are by nature termites. What is the relationship between plants and the vine? Of the man is the tree. The woman is the rope climbing. If the tree is big but the vines are not big, this plant will be wrapped in other vines. If the vines are large but the tree is not large, that vine will wrap around another tree, which is natural law. Currently, the problem of the herd. Mr. Adultery is considered serious, but there are fewer women having an affair. The core cause of the what do you think you can blame them for? Why is it just your wall? When you reach a level, higher ability, higher than wealth, higher than whether they can go out Neither they want to come out nor can they come out. Because of the height of the low version, don't say vines, even potato strings climb out. Is not the center of the family. Is the sentiment that is economic when the money of you still don't have enough of you at all. Need to pay too much attention to the wife's relationship. Husband affection, family affair. Familiar. You just need to focus on your business. Remember to use money to talk about feelings with them. Will be more effective than using words to show affection to them. Don't do it yourself. I become too sentimental about what they need. It's basically not you. It's your money. The number 2 friend. Don't expect morality to be who rises the number 1 national session at the end of the Qing dynasty, even though it was in how to behave or work. Good knowledge, qualities are completely worthy of the mirror for the queen, but in fact, when he was just starting out, as an official, he did not do very well and was close to like encountering unwholesome eyes everywhere in the imperial court, because he was not only self-disciplined, but also expects a lot of high morality of other officials. Is different. Just a little mistake in the working style, he will sue them. In front of the emperor today, sued people. Hey. Tomorrow sue the other person. Almost everyone didn't like him, even gathered against him. Dang Kwok was extremely heartwarming at that time. I don't understand why I'm full of personality. Integrity is clean and pure. But at the end, and being walked away by everyone. Difficulties. Then he began to self-examine, and finally understood the Taoist ideas about being extremely soft, extremely hard soft, from which he built the principles of life, is to use the softest of the world, to control the toughest things. As long as the results are good, the process has some unrelated errors and loopholes. The working methods and methods of others, even though it is difficult for them to accept, but will not intervene if someone deliberately makes it difficult for him to be patient. Refrain if someone stabs you in the back, as long as not a fatal injury. Nor did they investigate to heal themselves, and ignoring no moral expectations on any who only focuses on helping the emperor solve the determined to be difficult long-time towels then people hand out. Appeared that the national session of the Tang dynasty had changed. No longer this annoying hedgehog enemy. Also gradually disappeared, and trust as well as his prestige in the eyes of the emperor was also gradually being built. When you understand that your child's nature, people are selfish, every action, every word, saying that everyone revolves around the interests of your body will naturally let go. Just you have moral expectations in others, you will definitely be hurt. Love. Men say I'll love you all my life. Women say even though I am poor and sick. Also never leave their children. I will definitely grow up to be Hugh to on with. Staff. Parents say I'm forever grateful. My boss says you're always my brother. These words, if you believe you will soon be the damage in front of those interests, is all fairy tale if it is not because of the benefits are not big enough. I don't tell you. Don't talk about morality. Don't expect others treat their friends and children ethically. Who is only moral to himself? Use morality to bind yourself. Do not bind others to be religious. For me, that is true morality. The use of morality to bind others. You have to have morality with yourself. That's not be ethical. Number 3. Don't always want to build for yourself. A screen is a good person. Yesterday, a friend called me and said that his brother-in-law had previously borrowed $50 million business after his father-in-law was seriously ill with him. A loan to pay a few tens of millions of dollars. Hospital fees after his father-in-law's death. Told his mother-in-law and brother-in-law that he would, should this medical fee be divided in half. Was scolded by his mother-in-law for saying that he, the son-in-law, is too cold to spend money on his wife, but also calculated that he would come home and tell her with his wife. As a result, his wife also blames him. You're so stingy again. My brother, business does not earn money as a son-in-law. Isn't my dad your dad? After hearing it, he was completely confused at why is the money paid by the person who suffers from. Scolded me again a few days later. Thinking and deciding on the cost of medicine. Then I pay for it myself. But the money for business loans to the brother-in-law must be paid. So he told my wife to mother and brother talk about money, medicine, let him take care of it. But the amount of $50 million my brother borrowed before to do business, then I have to return it to you. But I'm done listening to it. My wife gets angry and scolds me again. Why are you just thinking about money? Isn't my brother? Is your brother? Why is he doing it now? Eating hard doesn't make money. I still have. Is it your business to ask for money to do so? People don't have two people quarreling. In the evening, the phone call from my mother-in-law came again. Mother-in-law scolded him again. You rest assured me, ma'am, this old man, even if he has to sell blood, will pay for it. Give you don't force my son anymore. I marry. How many years and a few tens of daughters give him? Million is not worth it. Why did his friend completely collapse at night? I called and asked if I had to solve it. If I say money, stop cutting off contact. To the whole family he said how can he do it even though everything is a money house that doesn't take anymore. That's it. But now the whole family says I'm stingy to have such an opinion on me. I have to do something so that they have no opinion with me anymore. I said why do you have to make them? Did not have an opinion with Mr. Ron who wanted to. I am now a good person in the eyes of people. So different. Why aren't you tired? Said that family relationships are important. It is necessary to maintain a good relationship between family members. Saw he was too immersed, so I give your point of view in practice. A lot of people are entangled by love, feeling that family relationships are forced by the desire to always be a good person. As a result, I am tired but did not receive any compliments. The reason was very simply people who consider you good, even if you are good 10 times or not 5 times better than them, still think you're good. But for those who people see you as bad, even if it is good 100 times, it will not fix that one time was not good in their eyes. How not to try to change your perspective. They're about themselves, staying away from them tough with. They are better than you are not good people with. Everyone, including my family, never likes to identify themselves as good people because if you are not good once, all your previous good will be. They mislead you into believing that you are a bad person in their eyes so that when you are good once they will feel that it is a surprise. The sad part of people is because they have spent but do not receive commensurate compensation because. So the best way is not to spend anything. That's how even if they curse me, I don't. Sadly, the most scary thing is that I have already spent, but are still cursed in addition to their parents with any who I am good to you once you reply. Being good with me can be my best friend. With you once you don't reciprocate possible. Do you away I am good to you once you didn't respond, but cursed me behind my back. Block is always no matter who it is. Bullying the weak, afraid of the strong, even those who your loved ones are the same. Time to maintain these relationships. Meaningless relationships. Take the time to become stronger than the next part. Let me show you how to train your mind. Extremely strong. Psychologically strong. What is the same? I define as follows. Fairy does not rely on any side factors outside to earn rich confidence. No arrogance. No discouragement. No loss. Disappointment achieves second. Non-complacency. Humans are not all gods. You can make mistakes. When you make mistakes, Try your best to repair without having to regret all his life tormenting himself. Meaningless. What happened can change. Don't regret it in vain. In the past, this is a necessary factor to have a strong psychology. The third power. Even if you lose anyone you still are friends. You are the only one who does not leave from your life that the spirit of you'll be degraded. This is the second standard. 3 emotions do not depend on any who is still independent and perfect. Stand strong. The fourth is not interested in any what negative reviews from others. For positive compliments, happily accept it, but don't let yourself deceived by it. Look clearly at the purpose of who compliments you, what they want be. These are the standards needed to have a strong mentality. May remain in the future editions, but temporarily only a few. I note this content mainly for ordinary people with a heart. If you are a person with 3 extremely solid view can be seen. Refer to also your umbrella, right or wrong. If you are consistent with your child, your way, you are already a strong person. Right and wrong will be clearly reflected. Whether or not you live happily in the future depends on you bear it yourself without having to fight. What is the theory for me to learn the secret of? I dare not guarantee anything else, but at least in your life you will. No more sadness, confused, no longer pain, suffering because of love. No longer crying because of GP. Must defeat all negative emotions will leave you. The above points seem simple and true. TNG, but implement they are a great knowledge I will analyze further so that everyone understands. I will start with topics that people are most interested in. Love Me will show you how to face difficulties and obstacles in these aspects. Next to this, I always speak frankly and, to get straight to the essence of the problem, the truth is often like 1,000 cold irons. The year is dark and unshakably cold. If you are a sensitive person and, if you can't stand it, don't read on. Haha. What is love? From thousands of years ago to the present, debate about what. This never stops. I intend. What is the meaning of love? Love is sex. Echo with silhouette that is a game between intelligence, emotions, appearance, assets and many other game factors, which lasts no more than a year, usually only a few months, with the end goal is to seduce the other party to go up. That bet is the essence of love. 1. Games with the motivation of sex. Those who have ever felt him know how to. The thrill of walking around when meeting the other person. In the period of burning love, the head holds hands for the first time, kisses what to do for the first time. That makes your heart beat so hard. Just a few days without seeing each other is a tub. The weasel is not as restless as Fawn said. Trongyang is scratching the itch of the soul. Around the floor, kick your feet on the doorstep, scratch hands on the window wall. Just need to be. Sometimes the phone cannot be contacted. Messages that don't answer, you start to worry. Speculate whether the opponent is or happy with other people. Symptoms of love. But between the couple, no matter how good the relationship is, just get married for more than half a year. You see, do any couples have these symptoms? This reveals a cold truth that all relationships between people and people in this world are essentially all is this exchange of benefits. It's not just finance, but it's also a satisfying rabbit about emotional and moral. This is a concept, complex thoughts that I will explain. After the love of cousins and husband, friends and even a part of the relationship between parents and children also lies within this framework. Those who want to rebel should take a good look before criticizing me. Just saying that it is part of the parental relationship. Children are not all practical parts. The rest of the parents for their children are. True and extremely pure love. Is chastity worthy of respect? Exceptions to any who returns to the matter of love is said, love is a battle of wits or a game. Play, therefore of course there will be winners, and the standard loser wins. The sub-loser belongs to your original purpose when starting one relationship for another purpose. The criteria for evaluating winning and losing are also different. Is not just married to the other person, is also not thanks friend if abandoned by the other person to follow him. The other is that you lose bad luck that can come from the luck of the person you achieve. Can is a useless person, while the person you are losing can be a troublemaker all the time. Life in conclusion may be lost well when you get away from the person who can cause to suffer for you for the rest of your life without carrying a little fun again. Let's say you start a relationship with the purpose of marriage, but then neither of them can be saved and must part with the standard win or lose at this time as follows. Who is the suffering so much that he can't eat or sleep? Sleeping, even self-torture or suicide. It's the loser who leaves comfortably, quick exit out of the darkness and living happily. That person is. Winners remember the standard. The third that I mentioned at the beginning of the video doesn't depend on anyone in your gut, but must be independent and perfect. Stand firm. You can say this sounds simple but implements not easy. To love is not a machine. How can you turn it on and off as you really want? Out. Very simple. You need to keep in mind from the first day of the relationship, remind yourself that can leave you at any time, because whatever the reason, this idea needs to be constant reminders. You might think this will prevent you from experiencing true love, that it is deception, affection, but you are wrong. I have not taught. Another trick is self-hypnosis. So how to do this? This hypnotic self-hypnosis is really a great skills are not easy to transmit. Ladies and gentlemen, stay awake, you have a chance. Mastering a powerful tool can. It is like casting a heavenly sword. Can break in the mind in a single way. Self-hypnosis is similar to the way that talented actors role-playing the perfect all into the character's inner world, thereby expressing real emotional transformation of the character. There are some actors who play the role of the tragedy level of inability to escape the lead character, to depression and even cases of self. This proves that the following emotions when self-hypnosis is very real. These feelings are all. However, when it comes to the essence, it is complicated. You need to have the courage and the looking at his whole life as a play drama in which all the sorrows. Vu is just because you act and experience. This is a criminal about premium content that I don't like right now. Suitable to say, I only mentioned briefly. No need to be too careful. Damn. Now maybe you understand what I mean. You are always prepared for the possibility of breaking up. Does not mean that you are not allowed to body into affection and love. If you can't be strong to the point of living single and happy in life, when you are young, you don't love once. Intense. How can you become someone like me with the power and this vision? You will also lack a profound experience in life. When the older you get, what will you recall? The question is how to engage in love and love without being deeply hurt. At the same time, it is still possible to experience the first intense love you need. Determine that the other person is the right person to join you in playing the full love game. This risk, for example, he is quite handsome and gentle, easy to take care of, a little money, or her very beautiful appearance, charming personality, gentle yun. After determining that you really like that person, you can start loving him or her. Love like everyone else. He cares about you so much that you miss him, and both can contribute a lot to each other. There is no problem. In this mindset you will definitely experience all kinds of emotions and the shock of love, nostalgia, irrational jealousy, of silent concerns. Bring warmth. A small gift that makes you are extremely happy with a wrong statement. Mistake leading to a violent quarrel, then a draw. Solve and then hug each other and cry. All the things you can experience you have. It can be said that this is no different from to others, but I tell you only it is necessary for you to remember the following things carefully. In this love affair will be different from other people. No matter what the result is, you are also a person. Win and won't hurt. First, from the first day of meeting, let's always remember that at any time, for any why, this relationship can be completed. Whole break. Second, this is a game. If he doesn't support you, you'll always, according to him, if he covers you, the game play ends here. You won't play. However, you also have to be honest. Invest emotionally in this game, not cheating on the feelings you have. The hurt can be sad, but let's remember that you are just an actor and a gamer. This play can end at any time. These emotions you can experience, but when the play is over you have to be right away. Immediately retreat. The third rule before marriage. The best girl should not give me God, not a chastist. I only come from the perspective of benefits. But here is a Vietnamese girl. If want to enhance their value and benefit in the game of love and marriage, it will be beneficial to keep our self-esteem. The most important thing is if you don't, it will be easier to retreat. If you, after all I've said, you still don't understand, let me take a fake example. You detect an ambiguous message in his phone. You should do what you say. You're learning to have strong spirit so you don't care. You have wrong. At this time you are an actor in this play. Your reason will tell you that your role should express moderately angry, questioning him and leaning on his reaction to decide how do you really go on. At this time, need to mobilize their emotions. Even can show anger and grit their teeth is also in them. Deep in mind, in addition to these feelings, you should remember that this is just a card that you must hit out in the love game. According to the rules in your heart, deep down there is no anger at you. As if draw out the game, look at yourself and the other person are arguing. Next time, I will continue to talk about love. First of all, I would like to emphasize again that teaching you to self-hypnosis and use psychology of an actor to face love. Love isn't teaching you to play with sentiment. You need to have a professional ethic of an actor. If the other person treats him well with your sincere dedication, you also should respond proportionately, but it is still a sentence. Say old daughters, don't use your body easily. Body in return for financial dedication of the other party, otherwise you may lose, because there are some men who are very good at pretending. This will open up many topics about men. I apologize to everyone, but I just want to tell the truth. I hope that fewer innocent women will fall into it. Traps I will probably also talk about later. How to avoid being deceived by women. Very fair, isn't it? Men have how much he will pretend, caring for you wholeheartedly but very properly. Not excessive. When you are sick he will ask visit to bring food and medicine to you. When changing weather he will remind you. Wear extra clothes. When you are sad he will be light, comforting you. What do you need? What you like. If his money is enough he will try buy it for you. When you are red he will. Tolerance doesn't argue with you even if you don't want to be close to him. Also did not show discomfort, but only said that he loves you he can carry. In conclusion, when you date him you will feel very comfortable and secure, even gradually depends on him, and then yes, maybe you will be away from the net and cannot leave him. I know how many girls have fallen into the trap of such people. Of course, I don't say that all men have these. The above expressions are all pretending people who sincerely dedicate themselves. The desire to live with you until the end of my life only refers to those who are in their hearts. I want to be with you for the rest of my life, but I can't present such care just to deceive you. Up, bet of all their actions. The means and the ultimate purpose are sex, so you will ask how to see if the other party really wants to stay in with you for a lifetime, or not apologizing but a man ready to use all tricks to trick you to bed with a level of sophistication and ventilation. Is such a young girl who is difficult to distinguish. So how to avoid being deceived so as not to lose their youth, body, and not seriously injured? You need to remember two very important things. One is that at any time, don't take it easy, fully confident in anything. Someone said this applies to all. Special relationships are things big even if you see it with your own eyes. You also have to confirm again, say, in a not very good way. Sometimes even parents can also lie to you with good goals, let alone other people. There is no love or hate in this world. Hatred of others for no reason to be good to you. Surely they want to get something back from. The above two principles are the law of immovable. If you always remember and follow, it will be difficult for others to do these two things. Can fool you. But even if the theory is good, to the extent that each person understands and applies in different levels, if you are still deceived, something like youthful money for example, or physically, what should I do when this is the time? Back to our main problem. How to build a spirit extremely strong. This is the final goal. With ours, I am not just to teach you how to fall in love or find a wife. Our husbands are not saints, can't live like concubines. Crazy means living a pure life, does not stick to bare dust. So it is difficult to avoid from male-female relationships and love. Unless you don't touch it, when it is attached, it is difficult not to be hurt. It's just more or less hurt. Stop rolling in life is difficult to avoid from worldly entanglements anyway. Most of us are ordinary people. It is often difficult to keep a pure heart. Like, what we need to do is to try not to let those things touch my heart. Once I have a strong spirit, we will no longer be afraid of harm. That love is the right path. Actually, it seems boring to say it, but even if there is a man or woman who really want to live with you to the end of life, the nature of the relationship, it is still an exchange of benefits. Strong again. The benefits are not limited in property but also include joy in life, emotional comfort, a sense of moral satisfaction, and so on. As a social regime, the essence of it is to live together to get through the day, help each other add to their strengths. For each other, men need to relieve desire and procreation of offspring in. They require women to have an appearance and good health. They need someone to take care of the logistics that this requires. Women with good morals, then they will be at peace. Mind goes out to work to make money, like as in primitive times. It is safe to hunt. The properties are the same for women who need the piano. He provides comforting material support, the spirit of protecting, the sense of security of. Of course, women also need to relieve themselves, desire and childbirth. But the degree of this is softer than that. Man is the essence of the exchange of benefits. Men's benefits offer what women need, and vice versa. What women offer, men need both to feel the other can bring benefits in accordance with expectations. If you want yours, it's fine. Let's shake hands and complete this sale, i.e., plate, kiss. Why do you have to talk about love? To that benefit is to remind you that even though you are in the stage of passionate love, Peter has just passed this stage and is about to marriage. You need to always remember that he only is an object that conforms to the standard. Exchange benefits in your heart. That, come on, the love game is short. You have played hard and tasted all the bittersweet flesh of love. Love the condition that you have played the role. How to self-hypnosis. I've guided, not really immersed. Escape. Well, from here on, continue to obey according to the rules of the game and continue to exchange benefits with each other. He can provide you with support, finances. You respond with comfort and affectionately caring for him, or vice versa. Can comfort and care for you emotionally, and you respond with financial support. Chief. Of course, There is also consolation in terms of body anymore. Now let's talk about the other, between a bad man and an ordinary man who wants to live good to you. The worst guy, regardless of the beautiful, bad, rich, poor, his only goal. It is very easy to get you into this kind of bed. Realize that you just don't let him pass. He will quickly lose his purpose, patience, and change the herd type target. Other bad guys are more obnoxious than these. People who are not mature at all. Responsible, they don't even know. What will I do next? Plans for life later only think to flirting with women and bringing them up. Their bed is like a bad type of man, but a little controllable. Better than marriage or friendship. Unintended pregnancy is not within the scope of their interest when you talk about future and life after marriage. They will lick vaguely or say words completely unrealistic, like just, it is easy for them to become millionaires. Easy as long as you wait, they will feed you. With such people it is best to stay away because they are just a waste of time. A good man, no matter what age, how rich and poor, should be held accountable. Responsibilities. When they are responsible, they will not acting too deviant. Even in love or marriage, they will know how to invest affection and effort. You should observe how they behave on a daily basis to evaluate. Their attitude towards their parents is stir-fried if too bad. This doesn't show that they lack of humanity. If too filial comes extremes, you should also stay away from. In their hearts, parents are heaven and friends forever. Always be the last person in the order of excellence is such an exchange of benefits. It's also balanced. Not to say that filial piety, grass is not good but cannot be blind. Filial piety without proper discrimination. This falsely indicates that the man, immature and without a major. See how they treat. How are friends? Do you value promises? No. But it is also not about keeping the word. Stupidly promise, stubbornly obey. Without distinguishing between right and wrong, they need to have my own principles. What should I do? Do it. Do it. Don't do it. Even if you're friends. No matter how good it is, it should not be done. If they regularly go out to help. If others fight, avoid letting go. Also see how he treats these people of lower status in society, such as replace, who doesn't ask him to, is a benevolent person, but at least he should not be contemptuous or coarse. Unprovoked losses to public servants, hygienists or beggars. No matter how good a man is, there is also the next limit, is that we are willing to spend reasonable money on you, or not. If he is extra money stingy, doesn't want to spend on you, then you should leave him right away without saying many. But note that this is British money we earn, not forced money, forced from parents or borrowed everywhere. Unable to pay and buy items, expensive gifts for you. This shows immaturity when you already understand it and then apply my self-hypnosis to love. Even if you want to get married and have children, you are basically will not be deceived or harmed. Even if they are hurt, they will only is emotionally hurt because you, knowing that it's all just a trade-off and you don't have much investment benefits compared to the other person in terms of love. Feeling that you always keep your sanity. Observe that you are playing a role. How can he be seriously injured? Someone will say that I met the man, he fits perfectly with the standards that you set for the man is good, but the result is still tricked into bed and then abandoned. Explanation. So I would like to congratulate you on your I've met a master. People thus can play a role for a lifetime until they get bored and still don't leave. The scariest thing is that they always perform both in front and behind back. To meet such a person, you consider won the jackpot in this kind of man. It's very rare for him to leave you early. Your luck if he has lived with friends through many years of marriage, playing roles. Good husband and father and 10. A few years ago, one day I had a child of my own. Come to find you to ask for your college tuition. Won't be shocked to the point of bleeding on sight. What about meeting a bad person even though you are married or not? You just need to rely on the principle. Third, losing whoever you are still the main one. You are the only one. You will not be for anyone. Leave your life that spirit. Lose nothing. That's the principle. Third, independent and emotionally perfect. Cold does not depend on anyone. Strong and resilient. Kwong now has many young girls who like older single men or have a wife for two main reasons. One is lack of fatherly love and warmth. Of the second family is because of our money. Haven't talked about people who like it for money, but let's talk about people who like it for love. Poisonous older men, generally mature and thoughtful, at least on the surface, They look like they have potential, much better financially than these. The young man and his caregiving skills has been trained by many other women. When they start to take an interest in girls, children lacking love and mercy, it's hard for these girls to live. Can resist this is nothing. Reprehensible because it's a man anyway. Poisonous. God just has no intention of playing. Joke. You can also try to start a relationship. Hey, however, what I want to say is that you must clearly see the true face of that older man. Some men, they were just middle-aged wolves. Interest in your general child's body and very good at concealing and difficult to recognize. Actually, when young girls love the piano, the old man is really not a small risk. By life experience and growth level, your city is far from him. He, lying and hiding you are not easy to play up here. But it is also impossible to generalize, all because if you have fallen in love and are about to fall in love, how can I tell young girls to stop? That is not realistic. And the number of older men also has. The people who really love you want live a lifetime with you. With girls falling in love with an older man for affection, I hope you can make these. The following points do not depend too much on an older man even though you're young. But he is also an adult. You need to have your own opinion. Put your happiness in the hands of others. Other is unreliable even when the person is genuinely kind to you. There may also be times when they are affected by factors outside the inspection range. If he leaves you, this is even more. Yes, because people are very easy to change. Who has it always retains the same feeling as when it was new. It is impossible to meet forever. The warmth, heat will reduce your happiness. Must be held in your own hands. Speaking of which, some people may think that, so I'm going to try to make a lot of money. Let happiness be in my hands, but not that. I don't mean that money, if it can be earned by justified, the more the better. But it's not the final guarantee for happiness. The ultimate guarantee for happiness. Happiness is independence and a healthy personality. Strong because whether it's money or friends, can't hold them forever. There are so many reasons that can cause you to lose go. These things others can do on their own may leave you, or even because illness or an unfortunate incident. I suspect that life is always full of impermanence. You never know when the number. What will fate take away from you? This is not something you can resist by exerting what we can achieve through the effort of making our minds stronger, more rational. I have emphasized many times that no emotionally dependent on anyone, but must be independent, complete and strong. Stand firm in the meaning of this sentence is once cruel fate robs a lover or your assets, you must enter the otherwise you won't be able to continue. How to live happily. So how to achieve this? As I said above, it's a great technique on its own. Constantly and detached from oneself to perform a play. Drama means even if you are living in the most beautiful moments, the blessedness is in the depths of your soul. You also have to remind yourself regularly that your loved ones are by your side, can leave you forever at any time, which is not merely death, but of course also includes death. If you find this unlucky, don't continue to watch again. I said, very frank and cold story. Even when you are alone, you can do it yourself. Hypnotize yourself into a complete person. Lonely, don't have any family, friends, or which lover you have to regularly prepare yourself for that situation. If that happens, how strong you are and live happily. Next is in practical ways to do this. Looks like a bad thing. Some people might say that this is manifestations of a mental illness. Living such a good life, why do you have to think to such unfortunate things? Okay, you might not think about it. But if that really happens, why does life develop according to the model? The wave after the deep bottom will have a peak, and after the peak, there will be a deep bottom. Who can forever living happily on the top of that wave is a rare thing. We have practiced thousands of times in the thought that loss everything, we can still live, continue and live so strongly that we can have a part of stability, psychologically strong as a lone wolf. No matter how difficult it is, it must be live. Then there is warmth, love, friendship. We must open our hearts to receive and enjoy them and respond to them. But once that person is no longer, we must be mentally prepared, full, because in their minds, we already knew that there would be this day. When watching this content, I spent a lot of effort to type each word in the final goal of the what we are. Don't forget it's to have an unparalleled strong mentality despite everything. The world's praise despite many. The one who leaves despite all the suffering that comes. Despite the success or failure of their lives. We can act regardless of the outcome, but our souls must be steadfast, not to waver. That is the goal, their core. The content of this emotion is mainly spoken from a woman's point of view seems not fair to men, but the reason is that men are often rational, less likely to get lost in them. Even when they are caught up in them, they often do it themselves. I was able to get out even though it might be time-consuming. Time and effort that should have been given to entrepreneurship or skill learning. Sword. I also want to say a few words to the guys. Retreat and calm down. Close to the body that is the biggest motivator that makes you follow. What is chasing a girl does what? Go to bed with her without words. Promise to take care of her protection. You are capable. Power to implement. Do you know the commune? How dangerous are there? Power that you can resist can easily break your relationship. And do you dare to make sure that the left? My heart won't change. Don't make promises when you're not sure and then later. That pushed the girl into a miserable situation, even made her have an abortion. Know how abortion harms the body. Know if you really love her. Self-improvement, mastering many skills and more social resources than you will believe more when exchanging benefits with people. These are for immature boy attracted into love but lack responsibility. People who really value love should also pay attention to what I say. There is no Bruce Long goddess in the world. Women are just characters in literary works. Learning pure girls simply because she is young and has not experienced much. That when she grows up, she will become real, more subtle without exception. Take a look at all the middle-aged women who are around the village. Whether they are beautiful or ugly, elegant or mediocre, which of them? And in the morning, they are all full of calculations based on money and possessions to strengthen self-esteem and his confidence. When they were young, they were also girls. Pure but pure girl. Mind you will become a woman, middle-aged, full of vanity in the future. Don't embrace illusions anymore. Try the power to improve yourself and earn a lot money than using those benefits for later. This chooses a high-quality woman is the right path if you have talent. The main powerful time that the woman you're normal to be pulled, and even if you always have her money, will probably maintain elegance forever.